No, just his lecture.
Namaste. I would prefer to speak in Hindi if it is not inconvenient to anyone.
Not at all.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
One no. Then I think you please try to make it up. No. Okay. Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, faculty members and young friends. It's indeed very exciting and frankly speaking I am a bit nervous talking about words. I am nervous for two reasons. One, we are living in such a time when the relationship between word and meanings is being destroyed day in and day out. And this is something very serious. In fact, I'm not going to make an academic presentation or anything. I'm just going to share some stories, some anecdotes with you. And then, at the end, probably going to leave you with the question that why, after all, it is important to think about word or words. Why, after all, it is important to reflect on words. Because word we use day in and day out for various purposes, as Dr. Sen pointed out. And yet, we have to reflect on words. And why? I will not answer this question in the beginning. At the end, I will say something about why I chose this topic when I was asked to make this presentation or deliver this talk. To start with, let me recall the trial of Socrates. I am sure every one of you have heard his name. He was charged with sedition, by the way. He was charged with misleading the youth of Athens and creating disenchantment with the system, and therefore he was charged with all kind of things, and as we all know, he was given the death penalty. Plato, who was his most important and most loved disciple, has written about the last moments of Socrates. It's a dialogue between Socrates, Plato and Crito. And in this, these students ask their master, their teacher, that is Socrates, that tell us what exactly is the basic problem with the city of Athens. We all realize that the city of Athens is decaying. A city which decides to kill its most brilliant son, that is Socrates, is certainly in a decay. But what is the reason for that? This question is put to Socrates at his almost last moment. And Plato records his reply. Socrates says that, look, the most fundamental reason of decay of Athens is that words are losing their connect with meanings. Words are being used very carelessly. Words are being used very insignificantly. And that actually reflects, that actually is the cause as well as effect of the decay of Athens. Therefore, friends, words need serious reflection. The relationship between word and meaning, is there any relationship? Or ought to be there relationship? What is the role of word in our everyday life? What is the role of word in our search for knowledge or meaning of our own lives? All these are questions which concerns every one of us. Not only those who are dealing with words directly, that is creative writers or philosophers or students of linguistics. Words are too serious a matter to be left to linguistics only. I start with a very interesting story. This is about Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu was a philosopher around 2500 years ago in China, almost contemporary with Lord Buddha. And he was a very private person, very kind of almost a social person, did not bother with anything, did not interact with anybody, just lived in a village, and that's all. But somebody informed the king of that state that Sir Lao Tzu knows the truth. He has realized the ultimate truth. ब्रह्म ज्ञान प्राप्त कर चुके हैं लाओ त्सु. So king being king felt it important that Lao Tzu, who lives in my city under my protection and has not shared the Brahma Gyan with me, the knowledge of truth, so Lao Tzu was summoned to the court. Lao Tzu realized that if you want to gain knowledge, and if you want to gain knowledge at the point of gun, then you are not exactly a very good student. So he was not willing to share or speak. In any case, he was not given to speaking much. So he said, okay sir, I'll tell you whatever I have to tell you tomorrow morning. Please give me this time. And in the night, he actually tried to run away from the kingdom and was captured at the border. And again was presented to the king, and king was naturally furious and told him that now tell your Brahma Gyan, your truth right away, otherwise you will be killed, you will be hanged or whatever. Now as you know, मौत से तो ब्रह्मज्ञानियों को भी डर लगता है. लाओ जी कितने भी बड़े ब्रह्मज्ञानी हो इंसान थे, डरते थे मरने से, अब फंस गए. So he said okay, and he spoke some 25, 30 or maybe 50 statements, sentences. Those sentences are known, they were recorded by somebody, and they are known as the Book of Tao. Tao, incidentally, in Chinese language means name and also the way. And the first statement made by Lao Tzu was that true Tao cannot be named,